live. Oh, I don't know where we dropped off, but anyway.
Well, we know that we're having fun.
I know we are.
So much for the audience.
I don't know where we dropped off, but you know what? We sure are having fun. So, asking me about District 106, right, in state
Yeah.
rep. What I noticed is like the Republican Party looks like this seat is flippable. They've invested and put in the Republican Party, like I think a combination of Miami-Dade County and Florida's, Florida Republican, put in about 40 grand into his account already. Like donated 40 grand into Fabian already. So I suspect that, they look at it and see that it's a very flippable seat.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I don't know. And it's possible. I mean, you have to see some of it. He's very non-Republican though. Like he's pro-choice. He's like anti-gun, and you know what I mean? Like
I saw him in the interview. I mean, he wasn't even answering questions. It's such a shame that you didn't get in there.
Well, next time maybe. Yeah. I mean, if the party can stop getting involved in the primaries, like for real, and allow people to rise up against incumbents. But like right now, all parties, right? They always support incumbents. So if there's an incumbent there, because they've already invested in the incumbent, and I get it, right? If they just put 40 grand in Fabian now, in 2 years, they're not going to want to put another 40 grand. They're expecting him to coast into the next election, I mean,
they've already put enough money into you.
So I mean, like we're being honest about it. So that's that. But as far as Sunny Isle, it's like, ooh, I mean, there was a claim, there was a flyer that was sent out saying that Dana Goldman is a Republican. And
that's
so
ridiculous.
Yeah, which is not true, right? She goes to Biden rallies. Like there's no way she's a Republican. I would never be caught dead in a Biden rally. I'd go to the Trump rally just for fun, like just to hear him call people names.
Yeah. I mean, that's the main reason I used to watch the news so much. That's how I got into politics.
He has a nickname for everybody. It's just hilarious.
I got more intrigued by the news and politics because of Trump.
Seriously, he made news fun.
He did. I watched more of like Trump's.
Even if you're cringing after he says something, like, "Oh, why did you do that?" But it was just like it's one of those. It's like a drama.
Like I remember it used to be like Game of Thrones was on, and I was like, "Nah, man, I'm watching this Trump This Trump
It's
like
crazy.
I kid you not. Like it was a thing.
Because it's so unpredictable, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, our friends would get together. We just sit there watching Trump stuff. Like, oh, I can't believe you just said that.
I know you wanted to crawl under the sofa.
Well, I mean, like we definitely are rooting for for Jay Chernoff, right? Phyllis Smith and Fortuna Smuggler in North Miami Beach. For those reasons, we do. Okay, so we've got a carpetbagger running against Fortuna, right?
Right.
Then we have another guy who's a puppet for somebody else running in your seat.
Correct. And then a good guy, another great guy. He's just not gonna, I think, make it
Friendly Messidor.
Right. Uh-huh.
He's very young though. I think he just graduated college.
Oh, I don't know.
He's an FIU student. Yeah, I met him, and actually he helped campaign for my race.
Oh, okay.
He came one time to help me knock on doors. So he's a good kid. I agree with you on that one. He's very sweet. And then the other race would be, the other race is where Jay's running, right? Jay's running against.
Right. So Jay's running against the incumbent, and so is a gentleman named Hubert Dubé. So Hubert isn't really working hard, that I've noticed. His name isn't really out there. I don't think he's touching the entire community. I understand he doesn't like, Polly Villard. Obviously he's running against her. It's funny because in the Haitian community, where Polly Villard is from, and Hubert Dubé. A lot of people apparently, from what we hear from some, not, obviously not from everybody, but in the Haitian American society, they're saying how she's like an embarrassment. They don't like that because she's embarrassing them and making everyone, unfortunately, people don't know enough, right? They see someone who they don't like, they think everyone's like that because they're ignorant and they're not, they're not uh, well-rounded, so to speak. And so, when you hear that, you're like, okay, it's not just me, like everybody sees this. It's just not healthy. It's not good. This is not how I wouldn't like it if there was somebody,
Mm-hmm.
Jewish, if I have to use that as an example. You don't want, if people already don't like Jews, for instance, let's say, or people are anti-Semitic, and then you have some, crazy person up there, you want to get rid of them because it's like, we don't want to, be associated with that. And I think that, it's pretty horrible because you don't want your community being represented. Everybody has a place in politics. Everybody. We need to be multicultural we have to be able to reflect and represent everybody. So we need to find our best people to represent us. It's like people in other countries saying, oh, the Americans. It's not the people, it's the president. Like when Trump was president, oh my God, those crazy Americans. It's like, wait a minute, Trump doesn't, he doesn't represent me, or all of us just about. So it's the same thing, I guess. It just trickles down to smaller population and smaller, into municipalities. So it's interesting to see that. I was kind of happy because, I feel like how do they support her? How does anybody support her? Because maybe she gives away a lot of stuff, and they just don't see what it is. I mean, here she gave herself a raise, gave the manager a ton of money. She's giving away turkeys at Thanksgiving. She's giving away gift cards. When people see that, they don't even care that, oh, so what if she gave herself a raise? I'm going to get a free turkey for Thanksgiving, or I'm going to get my $150 gift.
This sounds like federal
right. Right. It's so terrible. They don't even look at the bigger picture, but she just gave herself $6,000 raise. And before that, a $12,000, because they see what's coming to them is important, because they wouldn't have it if she wasn't there. And you can see where the vote buying goes pretty far. Yeah. Right. In certain communities, it goes far.
For a turkey.
Right. Can you imagine?
Stimulus or something. I don't know. But,
so if it were to come down to between, again, obviously if there is a runoff, so of course, if it's Jay against Polly, we just have to hope that people come back out. That's the other thing. People don't want to come back out for a runoff. And there's where you lose a lot of times, So
I think last time that's what happened in Margie Loves and Daniela John's.
Right. Yeah. At least in this, if there's the runoff, we have another chance, whether it's Jay or Hubert. There's at least, whatever it is, we're voting for the other person.
Right. There's one person who's available.
Exactly. Because she's that bad. Even there's the saying, the devil known versus the devil unknown. I'll take the devil unknown.
No, and Jay's great though. Jay is like,
but I mean, like even Hubert. I met with Hubert for lunch, and or over coffee or whatever it was. Very nice man. I mean, but I don't know him well. But I'll have to get to know him well. But I'm gonna have to absolutely support him because I know he's not gonna be Polly. I just know it. And I know that my other colleagues, they all don't work well together. So it's going to be more of the right type of. It's not going to be 4 against 3. You know what I mean? There's going to be someone in there that can go either way, which is important. You don't want to have that block.
Yeah, you don't.
Right.
Yeah, there's a voting block going on. It's so hard to do anything. I mean, aren't you guys paying more for the city attorney than you were before?
Oh my God, our city attorney gets $720,000 a year.
Yeah.
So we had a big law firm. We had outside legal. We had a big law firm. We were paying them $60,000 a month. That was our budget, and we get a lot of specialty lawyers with that. Was a very big law firm with 3 different locations with like 80 some odd lawyers and what have you. And they do a ton of municipalities. And in the middle of a night, one night, they fired the law firm and hired their guy without even vetting, without me being able to meet him, vet him, talk to him. Even though your 4 block is going to vote for him, at least have the respect that I at least get to talk to him and meet him. So at least when I vote no, I have a reason, or maybe I'll vote yes because I met him and I happen to think he can do a good job. Well, it's him and 2 other attorneys, not this big law firm of 80, and they're paying the same amount of money that they were paying the big law firm.
Wow.
So so it's all inside. What they're doing is all, they're all working together on the inside. You take care of me, I take care of you. I'm going to give you, $750,000, and you're going to make sure I get this, this, and that as a commissioner. It's gross.
Exactly. Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely. See, now this is the juicy stuff.
Right.
This is what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to bring her back on because, again, next show, Bill has said that he will be here.
Yeah.
I think we have no choice, right?
Well, I mean, it's important next week that we come back, but to celebrate some of the wins, right?
Yes.
But I also want to, like right now, because we're right in elections, like we're in the final stretch right now. So it's so important, we've got, we've got this massive liar lady who's running in Sunny Isles, and we've got like this corrupt other lady who is is
giving away ARPA money to a select group of people, the needy, but you have to have a car. You're so needy.
I know, right? And the thing is, like, what I didn't like.
You got to be needy to qualify for free turkey.
In our city, we have an equal, like, a good size amount of Haitians versus, like, Jews, right? A Jewish community.
Right. No, I'm familiar with North Miami a bit. North Miami Beach.
Would you say that? No, but the thing is, like, all the giveaways are always on Saturdays, which is Shabbat.
Right. No. Well, what happened was, so they did the giveaway on a Thursday, Friday, and a Saturday, right? So I have a friend of mine that went on Thursday. She got up at 6 a.m., got in the car. The thing started at 8 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, she had cars in front of her. They shut her down. She couldn't come back on Friday, and she's Shomer Shabbos, which means she, observes Shabbat, and she couldn't go Saturday. Now, that's ridiculous. You only did it for an hour. And that's because I'm sure Polly wanted to use a Saturday where most people don't work and get the biggest bang out of her buck and campaign. And that's what she did. She ran it just like a campaign. You can see, we have videos of it. It was absolutely ridiculous. And the worst part is that some people slept in their cars. I have a resident who's a teacher, and she stayed all night in her car. At 8:30, she was texting me, and then finally I called her, and it was insane. I'm like, I cannot believe you stayed in your car. Now, granted, she's a little bit older than me, right? But imagine the elderly. The people that really need this could use this $150 gift certificate. First of all, you have to have a car. Well, a lot of people, if they're that desperate for 150, some of them don't have cars. Secondly, who's going to stay in their car all night? Who has that capacity, to be able to do that?
Right.
And then you have, right. And then people work. The people that really need it also work, and sometimes 2 and 3 jobs. So they're not going to have time to sit in their car and go. So the whole thing was so outrageous. And the thing is I wanted to vote on better I knew this was going to pass, right? But I wanted to at least discuss it. Let's think of logistics. Let's think of the best way to do this. They voted in a consent agenda. It never was discussed. It was in our agenda because we were spending $225,000. But one of my colleagues took it out of the consent agenda and took it out of the regular agenda and put it in the consent agenda. And my colleagues voted the 4 and voted yes. So we never discussed it because it just went into the consent. It just happened. And thank goodness for Glenna Milberg that she even got attracted to our city and that she actually did this, because you sometimes.
Was there a source who sent the news to?
Oh, I'm sure there was. Yeah. And I think that, you were lucky, because during election time, nobody really wants to do these stories, and vandalize signs and, all this petty garbage that goes on a lot of these elections.
Signs got taken out too. It's
crazy.
crazy.
Oh, yeah. And then you have the government, you have the governor's law, you have like this, a lot of stuff going on, the judges and the amendments and all that. And then to be able to, you're lucky we had a slow news day apparently, and they did this story. But for the most part, this isn't something they get involved in. And it's really a pity. And I'll tell you something, Glenna told me, she goes, you guys need your own beat. Like we literally need our own reporter, because she sees what's going on here. And so do a lot of the other stations, but they just don't have time for it. Jim DeFeeti would have a heyday with my city, but he's got more important things, to talk about. So, and he only has a limited time, but my God, what's going on here, it's crazy. I'm surprised we haven't made it on national news just because it's such a joke, I
was shocked to see y'all on Channel 10.
Yeah,
I know.
We should have that, and so ethics department should investigate. Like this is.
Well, they won't investigate. They won't. Well, I will tell you that some of these people are under some investigation. I can't say. I just know big complaints have been put in, and only time will tell whether they find fault with any of this, because they hire attorneys, and I mean, there's a lot of things I do know. It's just, whether it gets followed through, whether these things go anywhere, and whether, if it ever ends up at the state attorney's office, if they have the stomach to even go after this. And let's face it, our state attorney's office, does not have enough attorneys. I think she has 2 attorneys in her office. So it's really got to be a super slam dunk for them to put the kind of money to go after some of these offenders, Yeah. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, no, we definitely will see him. Listen, I enjoyed having you with us tonight. I hope this is not the last time you'll come and join us on the show.
Oh, no, I'd love to. It'll be very interesting to see what I have to say after the fact.
Listen, next week's show is going to be quite interesting. So on many levels, so we'll have a lot to discuss.
Yeah. So I mean, our neighbors, right? We're dealing with that, which is a mayoral election in Sunny Isles, right? So I mean, I just encourage you to not vote for a liar, yeah. So with that said, and of course, we have our 3 candidates in North Miami Beach. I think we should be signing off soon. We're stepping on into an hour and a half. So Mo, would you like to acknowledge the audience and close out our
Well,
our show?
folks, I don't know which segment of the show you're watching, if it was the first half, the second half, the live half, the not live half, but some insight tonight on local government and how juicy it can really get in politics, and hopefully it encourages you to again go out and vote for your local officials. Get involved, voice your opinions. Make sure your vote counts. Make sure that if you're getting, like she said earlier, Barbara, at least give me an opportunity to say no to the things that you're going to pass anyway. But if you're going to pay higher tax millages in your city or whatever the case is, at least have a voice in who gets to say how much it's going to be.
Yeah.
Definitely, I encourage people to just take it more seriously. And I'm glad we're able to have a commissioner here, a very transparent commissioner, one who doesn't mind sharing. And again, I saw the news. I believe it because I saw the news. So everything he said matched up with the news report. That is not what happened. So, so I thoroughly enjoyed having you on tonight, Barbara. I look forward to having you on the next show. I look forward to having you on with Bill. I hope we have a successful story with Bill next week. I hope we have a lot of different success stories with our elections of next week. And
especially NMB too.
because I mean, but apparently Miami-Dade County's got some juicy stuff. Broward County's definitely got some juicy stuff going on as far as their school board, Miami-Dade school board elections as well. So I look forward to next week's show. So yeah, thanks again for coming on tonight, Barbara. Lynn,
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Lynn, anything you want to say on the way out?
No, I just that you could find us on Facebook, message us, or chat to us and let us know if you have any questions, you want to hear about anything, or if you have questions for Barbara, Commissioner Kramer. You could also text her on Facebook as well. She's Barbara Manous Kramer. For us, our chat handles are running in the ticker down the bottom. So, and I hope to see you again next week. I will try to come live on Election Day to see and keep you guys posted on what's going on. And that's it from me.
Let's try and be live on Election Day. Let's see what we can do.
Awesome. Okay, good. Let's do that. I mean, I'll probably be, running around and
I'm gonna treat it like the NFL draft. Pick the commissioner. So
I'm doing polls at the in Eastern Shores. So yeah.
Good. Okay. I'll be coming back from the Keys. It's actually my birthday on Election Day.
I know. I was gonna say, I was gonna actually text you and say, wait, are we having breakfast again on your birthday? But I guess
have to do it the day after.
Is more attractive. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, happy early birthday to you.
Thank you.
And
all right, well, guys, thank you so much for having me. It was a great show, and I look forward to many more. And best of success to you both.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, good night, everyone.
Night.
Night.